Hey everyone, welcome to my channel where we're doing music covers, original music, album reviews, song reviews, a little bit of social commentary here and there, whatever the day calls for. If you like what you see here, please like and subscribe to the channel. If you have content on here as well, I will support you also. I'm all about supporting up-and-comers on here. Today we are getting into the second volume of the Forgotten Album series. This is a series focused on giving in-depth reviews to albums that have been overlooked by bands that either aren't around anymore or haven't taken off as much as they should have. It might be something that time hasn't treated well. Basically, stuff that fell off the radar of the music scene for one reason or another that deserves attention. Either ones that I come up with myself or by requests. Last time we did Sky Eats Airplane, and this time the segment is a request for a band whose name I've heard floated around a few times back in the day, but I've never actually checked out. And they have been inactive since 2016 and has been considered officially broken up in 2019. And that is the Australian metalcore band Feed Her to the Sharks, and their second studio album, the self-released Savage Seas from 2013. The last segment for this series, the Sky Eats Airplane review, was for a beloved album that I knew inside and out. This one I went into blind, and this is going to be a first reaction track-by-track review with a rating at the end. So let's get into it. Number 1, Savage Seas. Before the first note of a guitar is even played, just a little synth intro got me smiling. It kind of reminds me of like We Came as Romans, just that real uplifting kind of thing. We lead into an explosive breakdown, and 90% of this song is breakdowns. I'm reminded of August Burns Red with some of them. And this is definitely an album that sounds like it's from the early 2010s. It's nothing we haven't heard before, but it's done well, and it's a great way to start an album, and would definitely be a great live opener. Let's see what else these guys got. Number 2, Memory of You. I wasn't sure if this was a band with clean vocals or not, but we get some here, and this is a much more melodic number. The song structure has a heavy influence from Killswitch Engage for sure. There's a killer break in the song where the guitarist shows that he's more than just a chug machine. And that's something you definitely find out more as this album goes along. This is very good. This must have been a big song of theirs, because the lyric video I'm watching for this has 1 million views. And let's talk about the lyrics real quick. I'm fine with them. I can relate to them. And they're generally pretty good until we get to lines like, I don't care if I ever breathe again, and things of that nature in a song about a girl betraying someone. Here's how many girls in this world are worth a loss of your will to live. 0. There are many reasons why you should always choose to stay alive and fight on through any traumatic events in your life that have been caused by other people that you held close to you. But here's one you won't hear often that I'm going to add to that list. If you kill yourself, the people who burned you will use your death for attention. Imagine everyone consoling your ex or a friend that burned you just to bask in attention for them. Your death will just be used for virtue signaling, man. They'll all just post shit online about how they're always going to check on their happy friends, and then they won't even do that. Your death will not even be about you. That's where we're at with a lot of humanity. This is coming from someone who's been burned by many people. Don't give them the goddamn satisfaction. Stay alive. That's in order. Number 3, Sink or Swim. I love the highs of this screamer. This screamer is pretty enjoyable in general. There's tons of energy here. Great guitar work. The breakdowns are fun, and this is just basically a dose of familiarity from a genre I love, done very well. This isn't something you would use to sell metalcore to somebody who has not enjoyed it in the past and hopes they'll get into it. It is very much It's very familiar, but if you love it, you're gonna love this because it's done very well. There's a lot of the kill switch engageisms in the clean vocal sections, and I generally like this one a lot. Um, I'll definitely go back to it because um, I think I will get some more listens out of this album. So let's move on. Number 4 is called Fuck Melbourne. Melbourne is the part of Australia they're from. Damn, man. Sometimes I feel like I have a love-hate relationship with the town I live in. Small, little insignificant town in Pennsylvania, but they're just like, fuck this place. Yeah. The beginning has some quality thrash riffing and drumming. The rest of the song is kind of like the opener and just being a never-ending variation of breakdowns. It's a lot of fun. Again, with the high energy. At this point in the album, we've probably heard at least 20 different breakdowns. But none of them have come off as lazy or forced yet. I'm here for it. Moving on. Number 5, Shore of Loneliness. This song is perfect, man. Perfect. So many quality riffs here. Great clean vocal hook. This one actually is not littered with breakdowns. And the ones that are here are incredible. And I guess you could say this is a song where cutting back on that a little bit makes the breakdowns that are here hit harder. This whole song is incredible. So far, this is the best song, hands down. Let's move on to see if they top it. The first thing I'm going to do when this review is over is listen to this song again. Top track. Number 6, Buried Alive. This is a nice contrast to the melodic beauty we just heard. This is just non-stop heaviness with some lyrics that made me think of so many people from my past. And I can see that betrayal is a big theme in this album. There are some groovy, like jump the fuck up kind of sections in here, complete with the DJ scratching and everything. And it all works. It doesn't feel shoehorned in. I thought it was pretty good. Good track. I'm glad this one didn't have clean vocals, because it wouldn't have fit here. And this band generally does a pretty good job of just putting them where they fit and knowing when to leave them out. I would also consider this to be a top track. Alright, number 7, Take Me Back. This is a pretty good song. This would probably be the closest thing to a filler song I've heard so far. It doesn't really stand out compared to the others, but it's not really skippable either. It's just kind of there. Number 8, Save Yourself. I'd pretty much say the same for this song as Take Me Back. I wouldn't go back to it, but I wouldn't skip it when listening to the album in full. Again, it's just kind of there, but there's some cool parts in these 2 tracks. Let's see how we're closing this thing out. Number 9, Death's Design. This is a great closer. This isn't quite to the level of Shore of Loneliness, but it showcases the more melodic side of their sound like that one does. And everything they do in this song at some point shows up. Or at least everything they do in this album. It's all here. And it's done very well. And it's a nice way to end the album. I'm very glad this was recommended to me. I would consider the highest point of this album to be the triple banger sequence of Fuck Melbourne, Shore of Loneliness, and Buried Alive. I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. I feel like the last 3 tracks don't quite match the first 6 in terms of quality, even though the closer is very good. They made one more album after this one before calling it quits, called Fortitude, and I'll definitely check it out. Not sure when I'll get around to it, but at some point I do want to hear it and see where they went from here. Assuming that all these members stayed, I don't know a lot about the history of this band other than, their time was kind of short and they are not around anymore, and kind of like Sky Eats Airplane when a lot of bands that were broken up in this genre got back together because they were bored during COVID and stuff. They were not one of them. So they kind of seem dead in the water at this point. But you never know. Never say never. This was a great recommendation, and I hope to get more recommendations. But until I do, I got a few more to keep the ball rolling. Stay tuned for Volume 3 of the Forgotten Album series, and thanks for watching.